Welcome to our weekly Icarus Patchnotes discussion. I'm here with Carl, so I'm gonna swap over to Discord to get him in. Hi Carl, how you doing?
Good on you. Good. It's weekend, so no complaints.
Exactly, I'm doing not bad. Nice and weekend,
Good.
so time to play
Yeah.
some Icarus. First the Patchnotes, obviously.
Yep. And at least it seems like we have something new coming up as usual.
Oh yeah.
So let's see what that is for today.
Yeah. So we're currently in week 157, the Shaggy Zebra mount. We can now tame the new Shaggy Zebra mount. It can be found with a juvenile, which you can raise and nurture into a new Arctic mount. So this week we're introducing a new juvenile variant of the woolly zebra that can be raised and nurtured into a new mount with Arctic specialties. We also add some improvements to the AI in Icarus perception, so they will be far less likely to detect players in various situations.
Interesting.
And we've also got some news on next week's update with even more firearms coming to your armory.
Also interesting.
Yeah. So let's jump in and have a read. A couple of notable improvements. They fixed the biofuel powered drills and extractors not turning themselves back on after reloading a prospect.
They've mentioned that more than once,
This
so
has been a
we
bug
shall
for
see.
like 2 or 3 weeks, where biofuel drills and extractors etc. did not auto restart upon prospect load. So every time you load it into your prospect, you first had to run to your biofuel drills and
Well,
had them resume.
it's not the first time such a bug existed in Icarus. Let's just be realistic.
And I'm actually on my solo open world. I'm currently having a problem with the electric ones.
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry. So it's like ping ponging between the two.
I know.
What's that saying? The head, what's it? The
Frying
head
pan
not
and fire,
knowing.
etc.
No. What's the thing? It's like a saying. It's a proverb about the head not knowing what the tail's doing, or the foot's not knowing what the hand's doing, or it's like
The left hand or right
the
hand.
it's about something. It's like two development teams within the studio developing on the same product, but they're having no visibility to what the other person is doing. So it's like, hey, I fixed that code, and then they fix it, but then it breaks the other person's code, and they say, hey, there's this bug, and I need to fix it. They fix it, but it breaks the other one, and there's just this ping pong back and forth, based upon because a lack of communication and
Yep.
understanding. But anyway,
Well,
that's pretty funny.
I'll have to have a look. Maybe this fix also fixes my electric drills, because the last couple of streams, every single time, all my electric drills did not resume.
And that's
Might be
the
something for my prospect specifically though. I don't know.
c- could be, but it's not like they were full or anything like that. So it's just purely the same issue or same symptoms as the biofuel drills, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. What
Uh,
else?
Also, they fixed a physics-related building replication crash that was occurring on larger prospects when joining multiplayer games. And I've seen a lot of people complain about this, so
Mm.
I'm very glad that they fixed this. A lot of people like, hey, as soon as I load into the prospect, it crashes. Or first person loads in, goes fine, and the second person loads in, and then the prospect crashes.
I mean, there is that one thing that's interesting about the whole windows flapping open and close on first load or within a
Yeah.
certain distance, but it's per player or per session. But it's yeah, I mean, if they fix it, great. So
Uh,
your prospect is not big enough to apparently have the same issue. So get good, guy. It's next.
They fix a crash that could occur when supply pods take off if they are near buildings or deployables. This is something
Interesting.
I have not had this problem, by the way.
Could be like a interesting damage calculation taking place, like a divide by zero or something like that type of thing, which would then crash it off.
Well,
So,
actually, they have done some changes on the damage the pods do.
but that's my point. That's
It
what causes
will,
the
yeah,
crash. when it calculates off and its certain damage resistance is equal to 0 and it divides it by something in order to calculate the damage on the item, cannot divide by 0 and then crashes. But anyway, makes sense.
Uh, Now, if you open the mission tree, it will no longer open like in the middle of the mission screen, but all the way at the first mission.
Isn't that irritating if you're like already halfway through? It's going to be like where your last mission was run.
Uh, it's starting at the start is annoying if you are progressed towards the end of the mission tree.
Yes,
However, if you're still at the start of the mission tree, it's equally annoying when it always opens up in the middle.
true, but
As
it's
for the
better to
last
just
mission,
yeah.
you don't have to do like especially on
Or
Olympus, you have the like two routes to progress through the mission tree,
yeah.
the top and the bottom one. You don't have to do all of them in order in that sense. You
Or
can take all the top ones first
yeah.
and then go to the bottom one. So then where you
Yeah.
gonna start?
No, correct, but it could legitimately just be, because for example, if you do take both trees, it's not. I mean, seriously, if that's what they're looking at in order to fix, I think they're a little bit too much time on their hands. But I would just guesstimate you should just standardize the approach, which is like, okay, fine, the last mission completed or the last mission unlocked on the map chart would be where it focuses. But that obviously does mean it has to sort of track it. But they do track it because they do know what missions you have or have not done in order to unlock or lock. So if you or I logged in on, so for example, Olympus, it would always take us to the right because we've completed the map. If we wanted to go run a specific mission, we would then scroll, but most likely you would have to have scrolled anyway. I know that they've sort of overworked the mission tree to make
Well,
it more readable and accessible and probably
in
more
an open
condensed. And
world, you cannot do missions more than
oh
once.
wait, this is in an open world scenario. I thought this is the tree thing. Okay, never mind then. I have no
The
interaction with
mission
that.
screen.
Okay. Okay, no, never mind then. Never mind. I never have no idea how that works then. So I retract everything I just said.
So yeah, started at the start of the mission tree. Okay, now I have to scroll a bit. I don't really care
Okay.
too much. Otherwise,
Uh,
people who are at the start of the mission screen have to scroll to the left. I now have to scroll to the
yeah.
right. Yes, so be it.
For, for me, the mission screen is the when you log in and you actually going to go do an operation from the orbital command thing, not planet side in a mission, the thingy-my-gosh. So
Yeah.
I misunderstood what they were referring to. Carrying on.
They added the raw prefix to uncooked meat, so it's not confused with cooked meats. Like cooked gamey
Raw
meat
steak.
versus raw
Yeah,
gamey
yeah,
meat,
that's fair.
and
I mean,
cooked
you've still
steak
got the
versus raw steak.
icon. Yeah, but okay.
True, true.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a fail safe. It's fine.
The Strange Harvest mission, they've increased the size of the contaminated bear. They granted it increased health, increased poison damage, and increased chance to poison. I
Strange
vaguely
harvest.
recall this mission. Indeed, you had to kill a bear which had a cloud of gas around it.
Was this the one which you tracked in that area where you had to look for like the scratch marks or something like that against the ground?
No,
And
don't think so.
anyway, all right, carry on.
But I do recall this bear with the gas cloud around it, so take it out from distance is better, or just take a green pill and knife it in the face. But
Okay.
they increase the size, so it's bigger. They increase its health, so it's harder to kill. It does do more poison damage, and a chance to poison the player is also increased. So basically, making the mission harder. Sure, why not?
Well, yeah, at least the boss harder, but yeah, if you don't have a cheesy way to get rid of them.
Stand on your beams and explosive shotgun shells down. You have to put more beams now because
No.
the size is increased, so the poison cloud around it should have increased as well.
Yeah, but it's if it's the same bare mechanic in regards to charging you and then you just sidestep them. If the gas cloud sort of poisoned you, causing you to cough, and then staggering you, and then the bear just chomping you alive. That would make it really almost near impossible to complete the
Mm.
mission alone if you didn't use a cheesy mechanic. If you use a cheesy mechanic, it's just easy. So it's just you could say what you want, but okay, they made the boss more difficult. So
Oh.
might be interesting to see. But yeah, next.
They fixed an issue where crops would regenerate quality even if all the seeds were dead. When looking at the tooltip, it could be confusing as a crop would be wilted, but could still look alive. So it's basically it died because the crops take damage in storm now if they're
Yeah,
not enclosed,
yeah,
and it reduces the quality. If the quality reaches zero, basically all you get is spoiled plants, not even seeds no more. But
yeah.
apparently, even when it was dead, it could still regenerate quality, which should not be possible. So I'm glad they fixed that.
Yep.
And drinks in the crafting menus now have their own icon to differentiate them. See the drinks in the campfire. They all had this white thermos icon.
Yep.
Maybe now they all have different icons.
Yep. That's what they say.
Could be easier
So,
to indeed to differentiate them.
mm.
But now if you have to learn which icon means what. But meh.
uh, you sort of you affiliate a picture with what you want. So if you know it's the white one that you want because the white one is the good one, then that's
It
just
it's one
affiliation.
it's one of the 7 white ones.
Yeah.
7. One
Well,
being the ice water and the other 6 being the heating drinks.
yeah. Well, like I said, it just depends on how they sort of. There probably should be different colorations for it as well, because it'll be different images with like an orange flavored or a coffee flavored or a tea is more like greenish. I don't know. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, different items does well, different icons does create a more refined product. So yeah, it's
Oh.
good.
Now this week's new item, the Shaggy Zebra mount.
How dare you treat that poor creature as an object? You,
Uh,
I don't know
I'm
what
not treating it as an
misogynistic.
object, I'm treating it as a mount. So it has to obey all my commands.
Uh-huh. Without question.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yes.
Now, Shaggy zebras present in the Arctic zones of Prometheus will now have a chance of spawning with juveniles. As with all juveniles, you'll be able to tame, raise and nurture them once their parents have been disposed of.
Taken care of, yes.
Now when this juvenile grows up, you will have your very own Shaggy zebra mount.
It's
These
interesting that I
mounts,
don't have a.
yeah,
It's interesting that I don't have a picture of the baby. Definitely not that picture below. So I'm hoping
maybe the
that they're
picture
cute.
above. Because normally Shaggy
Oh
zebras you can't
yeah.
find in the
I
grasslands.
thought those were goats.
Not really.
Okay. Yeah. Carrying on.
So if you look at the what is the
Yeah.
oxide node I think next to it, or
Yeah.
maybe
No, that's
silica,
yeah.
they're
Yeah, that's
small.
Celica. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, they're small. It was just I see the horns, and usually juveniles don't have horns. Obviously, this is Icarus, but yeah, they look cute. We'll see in a second or in a minute.
Now these mounts thrive in Arctic environments, and as with all your mounts, they have their own talent tree to progress through as they level up. So next to the Tusker and the Arctic Moba, we now also have the Shaggy Zebra as an Arctic mount. Still, we only have one desert mount, though, the Zebra,
Yeah.
the normal Zebra. So I hope they will add some more desert ones in the future. But okay, hey, we got ourselves the Shaggy Zebra mount, which actually was mentioned in future content long time ago already.
Yeah.
And it is looking nice. And not as badass as the Tusker in Styx, but hey, it's definitely looking nice.
Mm.
And I wonder where it will fit in the mount tree. Maybe next to the like side by side with the Tyrannus. Speed
Yeah,
and
but just
carry
as an ice
wise.
horse. Just an ice horse, basically.
Yeah. Since the normal zebra is also like an equine, basically next to the Tyrannus.
That's the desert horse.
Right. Another one this week. AI perception improvements. Now, a few of the big issues that have been brought up with Icarus over the years have been the AI perception. There being the assumption the AI can see through walls and players get attacked while in their base while not being antagonistic. Now this week we've made some improvements to the AI perception to prevent these cases from happening. The first change is that AI must now be in their heightened state of aggression to be able to detect players if they have been seen recently. Previously, if a player was seen by an AI, they would continue to be seen regardless of whether or not the AI had line of sight, if the player was within 3.5 meters of their last seen location. That distance has not been changed, but the AI must now be fully alert to the player before this behavior is enabled. So you kill an animal, and then other animals, if they only like the yellow icon, especially for predators that is, they don't come running towards that location no more. I mean, they might still be coming to the location, but if you're more than like that, they can't see you directly no more. Where before they could follow you through hell and high water because they knew you were where you were. That's no longer the case. The second change is we have halved the player's footstep and jump noise range while sheltered. This will help to make creatures detect you far less while prospectors are inside buildings. I've seen it before as well, where you're in your base, doors and windows all closed, and still somehow animals sensed you were inside, they aggroed on you and
Yeah, of course.
tried to attack you. This should now be improved.
Yeah. Well, should be improved, but yet again, it depends if it's probably it's a very small tweak. They'll probably hopefully sort out the follower pathing, which I would say is a little bit more of a concern and irritation versus,
Pathing is a whole
knowing that.
different issue, a whole
Yeah, that's my
different thing.
point. That's my point.
Yeah.
My point is that there are other things, but I'm not dissing their work. I'm just saying there might be other priorities. But carrying on.
Well, for this one, I mean, if you jump, you make more noise than if you crouch and like sneak up on something.
If
So
echoes if echoes on our team, the things are gonna smell us from 52 nautical miles regardless.
no,
So
it's
it
gonna
doesn't really make.
they're gonna smell her, not us.
Yeah, but that's my point. Where they're still gonna aggro towards us because she's there. So it's not going to make any
Exactly.
difference whatsoever. She will freaking attract the bear from the freaking two, biomes across.
So
So
basically, we
don't
let her
care
take points and we keep our distance like 20,
as
30,
usual.
40 meters,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
but
basically use her as bait.
yeah, but like I said, it just doesn't change anything. I mean, we already know that the animals are pretty much, like a heightened sense of alerting. It might actually make stealth a little bit more viable, so it's good change. I'm not saying it's bad, that's why I'm not dissing it, but I'm saying that it'll be interesting to see how it actually affects. And the mission with the Drax that attack you, of the basic survey thing where you have to repair the building,
hmm
that one would be an interesting one to test because they do sort of aggro on the house, but do aggro on you as well. So
Yeah,
they
they aggro on the
so
beacon, and then when they come close, they start aggroing on you.
yeah, but you're usually busy repairing a house or something at that
Uh,
point in time. So it's like it's easy to see, is he locked on you or is he locked onto the building? So I mean, it'll be interesting. Let's see how it goes, but let's carry on.
Actually, the last couple of times I did that mission, that simple quest, I got bear cubs
Oh, interesting.
instead of drugs.
Interesting.
Although, having said it, I've been playing Olympus exclusively, so no drugs there. Fun though, fun
Oh,
fact, those bear cubs, they aggro on everything. I saw
oh,
a level 3 bear cub take out a level 25 wolf without breaking a sweat.
that's interesting.
It was funny, but yeah. Hey, it's good for getting my bear cub bestiary progress up.
Not true, yeah.
Anyway, continuing the patch notes. We do aim to continue improving the system to provide better experience so players suffer from less seemingly random attacks. Good, good. Now next week we're getting the advanced pistol.
Oh,
Next week we plan on introducing the advanced pistol, a tier 4 option that will round out the sidearm class with options at all applicable tiers. So you have the crude pistol at tier 2, you have the normal pistol at tier 3, we get the advanced pistol at tier 4, and we have the pistol in the workshop with a bigger
yeah.
magazine.
Well, it'll be interesting how much this one has. It doesn't specify, but it looks pretty cool. It looks like a nice elongated Glock of some sort,
Eh,
so looks good. And depending on magazine capacity, which I think will probably be the biggest determining factor, it'll be, good. It's actually interesting. I still want to look towards, I mean, the with the with the carbide, it's definitely an interesting niche to sort of try and fill. If the durability is better and the better control in regards to damage outputs. I mean, you're the one that played
well,
around with the explosive bullet carbine, so I have no idea how. I mean, I've played with the normal one, but I can definitely imagine add explosiveness to it, and explosiveness makes everything better.
yep.
So it's like bacon. So, but yeah, it's pretty. It's,
Well, I have to say I've seen multiple people play with a pistol,
yeah,
and they
I
do a decent amount of
yeah,
damage, like one
no, but
shot
that's what I'm
on
saying.
most animals with a pistol.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think it's a very, very, very nice item, and I definitely think that I actually want. That's why I researched the workshop one because I really wanted to play around with it a bit to sort of get the feel of it. But it is definitely going to be extremely powerful because you have a lot of control and how quick it shoots. Because
Hmm.
obviously the carbide is very much overkill. It's supposed to be way higher tier and way harder to get. But for example, if this pistol's material cost is the same and durability is the same, and everything is the same as the carbide, then obviously there's no point to buy the car or build the carbide because this is probably going to run on pistol ammo and the carbide runs on pistol ammo. So
Yeah, but a
you
carbine has
don't.
the burst fire, the
Yeah, but it's
automatic.
it's really easy to control if you actually aim down the scope, which you should be doing
True,
anyway.
true.
So it's, I mean, I could dump an entire clip into something's head pretty, fairly decent distance away. So it really just depends on it's more like a precision tool at that point. And obviously I have the rifle trained for my character, so but it's obviously the rifle is like bang, quite a bit of delay, and then bang. So versus bang, 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 which you can still get out of the pistol versus the
Oh yeah.
brrrt from the carbide. So yeah,
Now the
it's
carbine is overpowered for what we currently have. However, the Great Hunt
yeah, no,
is
they're
coming,
introducing. Yeah, no.
and
But
that's where we're gonna need is firepower.
it's just for example, my point is basically if pistol ammo was slightly cheaper to make, or at least buy from the workshop, or just make it a little bit more not as easily accessible. I mean, it's pretty good at the moment, don't get me wrong, but it's just the quantity is a little bit iffy. And then so it's basically adjusting the expenses, not so much in the crafting, but the like the ammo perspective. So, for example, an automated sentry turret. It's purely used for defense, or if you build your own things. So it's not a bad idea to have its own classification of ammo, which maybe would make bigger batches, like 10 bullets rather than one, for the same
You
sort of
have
thing.
the Bull Crafting 5, which
Yes, I
costs
know.
you
I
four
know.
ammo casings and four
I know. Yes, but I'm referring
gunpowder
to
for
even,
5 bullets.
and what I'm just referring to is that just I don't know yet again. I'm not that familiar with material cost, but I'm just saying you would want to sort of create the relevant niche for each one of those weapons. Because if you just have one weapon that does everything great, there is no purpose to the rest, which is like the
True,
shotgun. It's like,
true.
yeah, you freaking shotgun bias people because explosive shots, shotgun shells, regardless of the armor piercing or all these other mechanics that you guys want to introduce to make cool and add diversity to the game, if you just put a shotgun shell with explosive shells through its head anyway, and it still kills it pretty damn quick, if not the quickest out of all of them, then that makes all the other items mute and, pointless.
Well,
So it's
the hunting
definitely.
rifle has a higher alpha damage upon hits than the shotgun. However, the chance of hitting with the shotgun is bigger because you're shooting multiple pellets, which each do less damage.
Well, if you add up the
So,
damage when you put an explosive shell into it, I'm pretty sure the shotgun outdamages the rifle. Yes.
not entirely sure. Definitely not long range. The
Not
hunting
no,
rifle
not
is
long range. Well, actually, we
hunting
haven't
rifle
actually.
is darn accurate on long range.
I know it is, but you know, if you're sniping, because realistically, yeah, sure, of course, there's niches to each thing, but usually you would, be realistic about it and say, okay, well, I would imagine, X being the distance, and I'm pretty darn sure that if you're aiming down the scope of a shotgun and you have explosive bullets on it, that we will probably could taste it against like a wall or something. We will taste it, but it's,
No,
I'm just saying,
long range, the shotgun even with explosive ammo isn't that good.
well, I don't
Trust
know, I
me,
haven't tasted.
I've used it a lot.
Well, have you aimed down the barrel or have you just
Yes,
right click bang?
no.
So,
Yeah, right click, aiming by
oh
right
well,
click, and
just
then
yeah.
shoot.
Well, like I
Yes.
said, I haven't done it because you also have the, like I said. But I'm just saying, I know I want to gripe on them, and it's because in my mind it's a certain way, and that way is the way it is, at least in my mind. So it's there, it's great, but they're making items which are practically obsolete from the get-go because
Well, I have to say the hunting rifle still has its merits. Like I said,
I
long range sniping.
I
Oh yeah.
have the hunting rifle. I have a character specifically scoped and built towards it, and I feel that it's useless in comparison. So if I have the
Hmm.
shotgun, and I'll be doing the testing, because it's quite simple to do. You put the target down range, you put an explosive shell in, and then you
Yeah,
take
but
a shot.
if you have a big ass animal and you need multiple shots to take it out, start with your hunting rifle, long
I
range.
know. Well, like I
And when it
said,
comes
it's.
closer, then at some point you can switch to the carbine because it
Hey,
isn't that accurate long
I
range,
know.
especially not
I know.
bursts,
I
and it
know.
does
I
do
know. I
less
know.
damage, etc., etc.
Well,
But
that
yeah,
was the thing. We did some tests between
you
the
got some nice high numbers, yes,
Yes,
but
but it's mostly which we tested primarily the armor piercing mechanic. So yet again, if for example the armor piercing mechanic, or if the rifle had, because yet again rifles are designed to pierce armor because of the high velocity of the shells
exactly.
versus subsonic rounds usually shot fired from certain other things. So it's just that it's fine, but they haven't introduced the armor mechanic yet. But I definitely want to see how they introduce it
Hmm.
because, for example, if armor had a very large explosive resistance. So it would take you 10 explosive shells to break the armor in order to actually do flesh damage, which is like, most MMOs or most RPGs or most type of game mechanics. Then great, it brings the purpose back into it for armor piercing rounds. Or if
Hmm.
innate armor piercing is placed onto like the rifle, which should theoretically be there from the get-go, then great. That makes more sense. The
Well,
shotgun
if you
is,
look
like you
at
said, it's
if you
more.
look at the raw numbers, damage numbers of the ammo, you'll see that the raw damage numbers of the rifle ammo is higher than shotgun
Yes,
or pistol range
on shot, but what you need to calculate is
on
DPM
shots.
because DPM is what matters usually. It's based upon an HP pool and the DPM downrange. Depending obviously
True,
on the distances between you and the
but
target,
you will
those are all
also
calculations.
like the armor currently of the hard points. I have to say, because we don't really have armor yet. We have hard
Yeah, I know,
points,
that's my point.
and that is a like a percentage reduction of the damage taken.
Yes, but an explosive shell still kills it equally the same because it just goes blop and then it goes dead. So that's my point. But moving on,
But yeah,
because we have other things to
anyway,
cover.
yeah.
But yeah, it's my point. I know I'm gonna be griping them. I'm playing the bad cop. You're the good cop, and
Yep,
that's perfect. That's the way it's supposed to be because you need to
exactly.
be relatively, in order to promote. Well, yet again, I'm not forcing them to change anything. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Multiple
So
sides of the matter. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, which is fine. But then we're pretty much done because that was it.
So your support makes the updates possible. Well, you can go for the patch bundle, give you the extra saddles, water troughs, etc. Mostly just visual, but it has like the racing saddle, which gives you like 5% more speed, and the armor saddle, which gives you a bit more melee resistance on your mount. The pet companion spec, which gives you a couple of extra variants of dogs and cats. The zebra rescue mission, the one I did yesterday on stream, managed to save 5 out of 5 zebras. And I sent 4 of them up straight away from the base where I had to bring them to rescue them. And the last one I rode back to base. So yes, I have 4 zebras in the workshop now, in the space station now. Good, good. Or go for complete the sets. It's basically everything you don't have yet. It's like the base game and all the DLCs, including the outposts, but also the expansions like Styx, New Frontiers, etc. No discounts though. Then we go to the change logs, basically Woolly Zebra.
Yeah, pretty much woolly zebra, woolly zebra, woolly zebra. Added water and coffee to cream.
And cream
Wasn't
drink
that
recipe icons.
icon? Okay, yeah, yeah.
Icons. And icons for the
Carcass
calf and the
icons.
cow
Yeah,
carcass.
yeah, seems very much it. Fixes.
Fixes.
Let's see, a pot shot mission. That is
So
an
Potshot, isn't that
operation.
the one where you have to do like the shooting course? I believe
I
so.
haven't actually played that at all. Oh yeah, no wait, I remember that. That was actually fun. Yeah, I remember that. The one with the statues and everything like
Yeah.
that. Oh jeez, there was some
So
time ago.
basically, if you run an operation, everything stays in your open world. It's persistent,
Uh,
except the Potshot things, the training
uh,
course.
yeah, wow.
Well,
Okay.
in the future, if you already done it, it will stay persistent. But if you haven't done it yet and you are going to do it, have it added as an operation in the future. All the provided items, so basically that course will not respawn. So upon prospect reload, that course will have disappeared.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. It wasn't there to begin with, so yeah, it was a cool course though, so
Yep. Yeah, it
yeah,
was fun with all the moving targets and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Battery
Mm,
light now correctly turns off when out of battery, as it
okay.
should.
Yeah, yeah,
Now raw prefix have been added to cooked meats. We talked about that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, crafting. They changed crafting. You can now increase by 1, or you can say, hey, craft 10, or plus minus 10 modifier buttons. Also a new
Okay.
min button, so you already had max craft. You now also have the
Uh-huh.
minimum craft to reset the count to 1.
Okay. Oh, that's easy, yeah, rather than typing it out. Now, you and I both just use Maxcraft, Maxcraft, Maxcraft.
Usually,
So
yes.
yeah, so it's interesting,
And
but definitely,
occasionally I just type the number I
yeah,
want. So, but yeah,
it's it
for convenience sake, you now have buttons plus 10, minus
yeah.
10.
Some people only have one hand, so yeah, you know, makes it more accessible for just clicking rather than typing. So yeah, sure thing. Obviously the
Edit
carcass
mint and
icon.
time.
Yeah. Minor talent spacing. I'm assuming that's just making it more
Yeah, the,
nicer.
the, the talent tree, I
Yeah,
think they slightly moved around the icons a little bit.
yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Fix a
And
bug where
then
deep mining drills doesn't state
yeah.
biofuel only, so maybe, hopefully, also my electric ones,
Okay, yeah, okay,
where
that's
they would
fair. Yeah,
not, where they would be automatically turned off for reloading or prospect save. So hopefully
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
fixed now.
I think I remember
Rewarding
this bug.
the evergreen talent, evergreen, the
Yeah,
one sport plants do not
the water.
wither. To
Yeah.
mention that weather still can wilt crops if they're not protected. So yes, they
Okay.
will not wither. However, they still take storm damage, and they can be destroyed by
Yeah.
the due to
Fair enough.
storm damage.
And the icons for the coffee and creamer
Now,
thing.
when
And
supply pods take off, they now damage a maximum of 30 walls or deployables around them instead of literally everything. This should hopefully fix a rare issue where a game freezes or crashes when a pod takes off from within a base or building.
well, I mean,
Divide
it'll
by
be an
0.
interesting
Yeah.
test. I mean, obviously the pod's not supposed to land anywhere near inside your freaking
I'm not
building, but I
supposed
presume.
to. I know.
But
I'm not
people could have
supposed
built
to.
the base around it, for example. You know, it's like that's also a thing that somebody could have done as a joke because there's no building restrictions around a pod, so you could technically build your entire base all above and this pod, and then return the
It's
pod.
supposed to do check like, hey, I want to land here. Are there any deployables or buildables within
Yeah.
an X radius? If yes, then I'm gonna move my
Well,
landing location a little bit. But
no,
that
but it's
doesn't
not.
always work proper.
No, but it's like, drop down the pod and then we build up around it. We build a base up it, we build multiple layers that it has to sort of shoot through, which will be pretty cool, I think. It's like just shoot the rocket and it goes through like
That's a
50
good.
layers of
That's a good
floors and
one.
stuff. Yeah,
Will
because
it
it'll be,
damage the roof you built over it or destroy it?
well, it probably should destroy it, but it should go through all of them. But that's something fun we could test. But,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to crash your server. But it's like,
Meh.
you just bring a pod down, build things all around it, have like multiple layers, step back, push the button, and then have this thing shoot all the way through and going have shards everywhere, which would be pretty cool, I think, if it just breaks everything going back up.
Well, we
That would
can
look pretty
definitely
cool.
test this.
Yeah.
Supply pods now damage objects around them over time instead of simultaneously. One object per frame. But yeah, frames go very quickly, obviously.
Yeah.
And the shifting mission layout, starting position, we talked about that one as well.
Yeah. And feature content.
Quickly skimming through there.
Indeed. So let's see.
Norex Hunt deployable. Destructible mesh added to the Norex Hunt deployable. Is this the Great Hunt deployable codename Norex, or fabricated by some new faction called Norex?
I'm not sure.
Huh.
But what I'm seeing over here is updated textures and materials for assault rifle tier 4. It's not the assault carbide, it's the assault rifle. I know we mentioned
True.
they wanted to actually have an assault rifle,
Yeah.
but they wanted to tweak the numbers and hence they changed this one to the carbide, so it's still maybe on the file that they're still actively working on designing and modeling and probably balancing an actual assault rifle. So there could
It
be another rifle down the line, basically.
it might be the carbine,
I
still under the hood called
could be,
assault
could
rifle.
be, could be, but it's also my possibility.
And they did say indeed, like, hey, we called it a carbine, which leaves the option open for a proper assault
Yes,
rifle in the future.
that's what I'm referring to. That's the one I'm referring to. So yeah, destructible thingies for the hunt, whatever we call it. Um, more
Rock
club.
Golem now spawns cave worms during the bro attack.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, makes sense that it's a golem, so it should be quite on friendly terms with other cave-dwelling creatures.
Yeah. So when it burrows to presumably restore some health, it's gonna spawn some cave worms, so at least you have something to do whilst it's underground.
Fair, that's true.
Elysium toggled on use external actors and converted existing. Let's try that again. Elysium toggle on using. Funny, those two.
Yeah, yeah. Added a rooster talent tree, so they're carrying on developing with
Yeah, yeah.
the male variants. So it does mean, interestingly enough, that they would even have a separate tree for the male variants, which is interesting because I presume the same would be for the bulls, which
Well,
actually could be very interesting as well if you think
makes
about it.
sense, because for the chickens, at
It's egg
least,
laying. Yeah.
one is egg
It's
laying speed and the other is egg
yeah,
laying resource used.
yeah.
Neither of them
Yeah,
go for the
are
roosters,
going to.
so.
No, exactly. But it does make it interesting because one of the things I was thinking of is that a bull would actually double up as a nice defender as well. Because I wish you good luck going, onto the territory of a 2-ton bull that's going to literally kick your rear end
Oh
from
yeah.
here to freaking Kingdom Come. Because you don't mess around with a bull. That's just a fact. There's a reason why.
You mess
You
with the
know,
bull, you get horns, something like that, hey?
pretty much. But
Yep.
it's you don't mess around with a bull, especially. Yeah, it's just a fact. And yeah.
Added this your planter box wood large. Now, back in the day when we were talking about the possibility of planting trees and then more
Oh yeah,
specifically
yeah,
coconut
yeah.
palms, they were
Yes,
talking
yes,
about a large
yes.
planter.
Yeah. Good one, good one. That's a good one, and that's actually nice. Definitely, I like the fact for a large one. So yes, and
So
it definitely for
we get
for
a more reliable way to get coconuts. Also get coconuts
wood and wood
in Prometheus. Coconuts for the
and
cakes
wood.
and indeed wood, making it an infinite resource.
Exactly. So you could plant trees, and then grow them, chop them down,
How much
yeah.
wood are you going to get from one? Well, one coconut palm is giving you like 100 plus wood, I believe.
True, but
I
there's no
believe.
stating that it only is restricted to the coconuts. You could realistically, grow
Mm,
perhaps large
Back
trees,
in
like
the
really large
day when
trees.
they were talking about planting trees, they were specifically referring to coconut palm.
Yeah, but I'm thinking it's a doorstep into introducing, because I mean, look, in
Oh, by
Minecraft you
all
plant,
means. By all
because in
means.
Minecraft you plant one sapling, but if you plant four saplings next to each other, you get a bigger version of the tree. So it's like, it's just planting, greenery around one's base after you've destroyed the environment like humans do. It gives you the ability to at least add some lushness back into bases which have been stripped bare, which is the thing that I would be. I'm not so much interested in the actual resource. I'm
Uh,
more about the aestheticness of it.
this will
So
be planters though, not
I
out in the
know, I know, I
wild.
know, I know, I know. But I was thinking,
Oh,
that's their steps. There's steps to it.
true, true.
Eventually, because you've got mounds that you can craft using mounds for agriculture. So realistically, planting a tree in a mound and having a tree pop up with a
True.
mound, like base for gardening, because that's what you have in gardens in real
Uh-huh.
world, would be something pretty cool.
Yeah, you
But anyway,
can indeed bring trees back around your base. True.
pretty
Definitely
much.
good for aesthetic purposes. Do use the workshop shovel, by the way, because that one can withstand all storms up
You know what
until
would
tier
actually be
8.
also It would be actually so cool. Now, this is really stupid, but I immediately thought it was going to be cool, and that actually there might be a small niche for it. It's the fact that if grass actually grows in Icarus, that you could cut down using a lawnmower, so that you could real life role play gardening. Then you could sort of get out your space. You can cut your lawn. You have your trees and your bushes are growing, so you sort of have to cut your bushes to have your nice garden going. You feed all your farm animals to make sure you
Well, there is
have. So it
only one
becomes this.
way to cut bushes at the moment, and it's like, destroy them.
Entirely. Yeah, I
Exactly.
know. But there's obviously the game doesn't have the engine for it, so I'm just saying. But it would be just thinking now that it would be pretty cool if you could actually like cut grass. And I'm not sure if there is a game. There probably is a gardening simulator. If with like truck building simulator and truck driver simulator and engine building and computer building simulators. Why isn't there a gardening simulator? I mean, maybe
There might be.
that's there might
But yeah,
be.
use the shears on the bushes to
Yeah,
cut
that's the
them in
point.
shape.
That's what you
Ah,
use. That's what you use. That's anyway.
anyway, let's see. Heavy X swing added. Form of start loop and end animation to enable the X attack to be charged up. Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
We
okay,
can
fair,
go all
fair.
Viking style.
Well, I mean, an axe is supposed to be a pretty darn lethal weapon to begin with. Probably one of the most lethal weapons. So, yeah, actually more lethal than long swords in certain instances because it's got
Uh,
kinetic engine energy behind it and weight. So,
exactly, but momentum, more weight, so more momentum. So it also means you need more power and
yeah,
time to initiate a swing.
yeah,
Where
it's not
a
as
dagger is
agile.
like the quick
I,
stabby.
I, I didn't say agile. I said power.
Hmm.
Good luck freaking stopping a, you know, 10 kilo freaking axe, broadhead, double-sided axe with your puny little toothpick of a sword or shield when, some Viking is throwing it full yeet at you. So yeah, I'm just saying, there's a difference. But yeah, interesting that they have more things to bring in for axes.
Yeah,
Sounds cool, because that is a missing sort of weapon class to some extent. That's also interesting. And there was a mention of an ape legendary up above, which was a legendary ape club. Where was it?
Swamp Ape Club, legendary
Yeah,
weapon.
club. Yeah, so it's a
Huh.
club. So, interesting. It's not a.
Last week it was stating something about the ape using logs as a club.
Oh yeah, yeah, could be.
But
Yeah,
this is
so
a legendary weapon, so I think this is going to be a player weapon.
that's the thing. So, but a club is a very interesting tier for. It's more like a hammer-like type of class. But
Yeah.
that's also the thing. I mean, I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which has, like maces and, short swords and long swords and all these types of things. Now, I'm not going to go to that level, but it's interesting to introduce, or the possibility to introduce additional tiers other than
Mm.
spear.
This is
And
going to be pure blunt damage.
I mean, the club, yes,
Yeah.
but that's interesting. It could be interesting, S- especially because the board does have that stun mechanic. So maybe a club would have like a stunning type of effect to it, which would also be interesting.
Knockback maybe?
Possibly. Oh yeah, knockback. That's also an interesting one. Yeah. I mean, yeah, interesting. What else? Let's see
Okay.
here. Yeti bones. Interesting.
Uh, Yeti. Yeah.
So it says resave data tables and adding revolver open bullets. We mentioned, I think previously there
Yeah.
was the mention of a revolver. And then
Revolver
add,
open, bullet, close, and click audio
yeah,
notes. Yeah.
revolver is a weapon that they're working on. I think it's been mentioned before. And Yeti bones sort of
Oh.
caught me because that's interesting. Because I don't think we've heard of a Yeti anywhere. So yeah, that's
No, this
interesting.
first time Yeti has been mentioned indeed.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Maybe it's an animal in Elysium?
Could be. I would imagining so because it's not like limited to like new things, but it's sort of if it's like
Well,
a rare spawn or something like that, it would be pretty cool to sort of introduce
if
because having
I remember correctly, Elysium is supposed to have new unique animals again.
yeah
Like we had in Prometheus with the drugs and the lava broodlings and the Earth Striker, Snow Walkers, Stone Jaws, that sort of things.
yeah
I believe Elysium was also supposed to have new unique animals again. So Yetis for
yeah
Elysium maybe.
could be yeah true. And as they start introducing things, it could also expand. But yeah,
Hmm.
sounds good. Could also have like a versions of it that's Bigfoot in the forest biome, Yeti in the ice biome, and in the lava it'll probably be troll or something. I don't know. It depends.
Adding notifies to Black Wolf revolver reload. So the
Yeah.
revolver might be the Black Wolf bioweapon thingy.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool. And again, it would be interesting. It would be even more interesting if the revolver had more, because usually a revolver is, if you think about Triple X, the movie, it was like, the guy who had like a revolver and he had all these types of different bullets that had like trank darts or, explosive, well, obviously explosive are quite common, but has like, weird tracing or scope, like weird type of ammunitions that have like
Yeah.
niche roles. So
Yeah, and
maybe it
then
would be like,
you could see it by the color of the tip of the bullet, I believe. Yeah.
example, but it was like, yeah, you would, do like a crippling shot, so it would actually maim or immobilize the targets, and that's because of the ammo you use, not because of the perk or because of the
Mm,
weapon. It's because the ammo you crafted. So yeah, might allow
mm.
extra things from that perspective, specifically for the revolver, not for the pistol or the rifle or anything else, which would sort of lend to the versatility of a hand-based pistol-based weapon, which is usually not as powerful, but then compensates it with more, functionality or, niche practicality. So,
And a revolver gonna be like a revolver.
and it's cool. No,
Revolver.
no, but it's
It's
yeah, it's
cool,
fine.
and this has definitely clip of
Yeah, yeah,
slower reload than a clip, but it has
yeah.
like a 6-shot magazine.
True. It'll be interesting to see. It's usually supposed to be a bit more powerful as well because a revolver is usually chambered in more oomph rounds, like a 357 Magnum or, anything larger, like a 500 Nitro or freaking something ridiculous, which good luck, but yeah, it could be interesting. And hunting revolvers are actually a thing, so yeah. If you don't believe me, yeah, there's many. If you just Google hunting
Oh yeah,
revolver,
I
yeah,
know,
so
I
it
know.
exists. So.
Um, Wall curved glass, wall curved angle up glass, and uh, wall curved angle up glass. Oh, twice angle up, probably an angle down. So we're gonna get more curved glass and angled curved glass walls. Cool. This will give me more options to build with. Me gonna like this.
Mm, yeah, just depends on what the approach would be for it or the purpose for it. I mean, I personally haven't used building with glass yet because I haven't played the game much at all. But if it's for you as a builder, it's going to add diversity, great. But
Oh, yeah,
your greenhouse works without the rounded glass. Obviously, it does allow,
true, but
different. You could probably build very nice like skylights with the rounded glass if you had like four domes connecting to make a bubble, for like a bubble capsule sunlight in your building, which would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool. I would probably use it for that more than anything else. Not so much for the greenhouse, but for
Yeah,
adding natural
for
light into the
for
middle
add
of your
coolness
base.
to the base.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But adding natural light in the middle of your base is a very difficult thing, and you can only do that by using a
Uh,
skylight.
I usually have a like the walls, the row walls directly underneath the roof. Make those out of glass.
Yeah,
That's what I use to bring daylight into my base.
no, exactly, and that's
But
modern
obviously, if you
architecture.
have a massive base and the lights reaching the center of the base, that could be a bit tricky.
Yeah, but you could just build multiple, layers of bubbles. I mean, realistically, you could also just build, just glass floors or something, but it probably doesn't click very well. But it could be a very interesting aesthetic. Definitely something I would, welcome. So I
Hmm.
haven't built much, but I definitely think I would incorporate that into a build.
Oh yeah, I'll be using those new building pieces
Mhm.
for sure. You
What
know
else?
me, I like my builds, so
Oh yeah, of course. And pretty much, mm, I mean, I read something about a gargantuan mission again, but obviously there's nothing new over there. It's just there will be a mission to kill the big thing until we have more. That's interesting. Still don't know what it's referring to. If it's the big uh, picture that we saw from last week, where it looked like that creature we've never seen before, with the big horns. It looked very big. I think that's the gargantuan. Or is
let's see.
gargantuan the monkey? Like I
Set
said,
up
we
Gargantuan Lab to spawn at the start of the Great Hunt, so you get a
uh,
Gargantuan Lab.
mm.
Next, Gargantuan Great Hunt, assign dialogue to each mission. Objectives list. Gargantuan Green Great Hunt, mission
Ooh,
steps,
this is also interesting down here.
mission dialogue, research lab. Yeah. Okay, down what?
Adjustments to the Black Wolf revolver pistol. Change notifications to player type so volume could be adjusted depending on the perspective.
First person, third person, I reckon.
Is it only that? I was kind of hoping maybe if there was like some sort of audio type of differentiation on like what's sort of being loaded, but no, does make sense what you're saying. I was kind of thinking
First person a
maybe.
bit louder audio than third person.
Yeah, makes sense as well. And then yeah, your wall stuff, and then pretty much yellow quad.
Elysium, yeah, the like I don't know, top left, top right, bottom right, whatever. You see those color quads all the time. Yellow
I
quad,
mean,
green quad, red quad, blue quad, whatever. Purple
I thought
quad.
it was a quad as in a scrambler slash 4x4,
No,
which
no,
is
no,
a
no, no.
damn it.
The cliff pass block out in yellow quad, you have the cliff and deco pass on the green quad. A bit further up you have the green quad and the yellow quad quadrant basically. So part of the map
Okay, quadrant, yeah, okay.
could be
Ah,
like
okay.
biome, the certain
Yeah,
biome having a certain
that's fair.
color, just to differentiate them.
Mm, yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much what I picked out from the new stuff.
Yeah, same here. So TLDR, we have a new mount. They should have fixed the drills.
Drills.
Uh, Other interesting stuff. Yeah, the new icons for the different drinks. And I think those are the biggest items for this patch.
Yep.
So we're gonna take a quick break and then we come back. We go Prometheus Open World where we will grab ourselves some Shaggy Zebras and we will also indeed test like cool down a pot, build something around it in 3 dimensions around it, obviously.
Yep.
Send it off, see what happens.
Sounds good.
Uh, So we're gonna take a 10-ish minutes breaks. So Karel, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the patch notes with me.
Pleasure.
And yeah, we will be back in 10-ish minutes with some subsequent gameplay. So I hope you enjoyed going through the patch notes, and I hope I will see you around for the gameplay.